In today's video, we're going to be sharing the best way to find reasonable compensation for your S Corp. We're going to be covering an overview of the platform RCReports, what the platform does, and why you would want to use it to help with your S Corp. But before we hop into RCReports and show you a little bit about the platform, let's talk about some information about your S Corp that's going to be beneficial for you to understand. Let's first recap what an S Corp is if you don't know already. An S Corp is a special tax designation available to LLCs and corporations that can help you legally reduce your tax liability in certain cases. Now, this is not financial advice. Please talk to a professional to see what is right for your specific business situation. This is just for informational purposes. But this status allows businesses to pass its income, deductions, and credits directly to shareholders, avoiding double taxation. Essentially, it's a great way to save money on taxes if managed correctly. But there's a catch. You need to understand how to balance salary and distributions. One of the fundamental rules for S Corps is that owners must pay themselves a reasonable salary. But you might be asking, what is a reasonable salary? The IRS requires that you pay yourself an amount that reflects what you would pay someone else with similar skills or experience for that same exact role that you are doing. This is crucial because that salary is subject to self-employment taxes and payroll taxes. And these include Social Security and Medicare. This tax is also 15.3%. So it is a decent amount. Let's break this down with an example to make it super clear to understand. Imagine your business makes $100,000 in revenue and you have $50,000 in operating expenses. This is going to leave you with $50,000 in profit. If you pay yourself a $25,000 W-2 salary, you have to pay payroll taxes on that amount. The remaining $25,000 in profit can then be taken as a distribution, which is not subject to self-employment tax. So here's where the tax benefits come in. Distributions, unlike salaries, are not subject to payroll taxes. And as you might think, this can save you a significant amount of money on taxes. However, you still owe income tax on any distributions that you take. At the end of the year, the business's profit is reported on Form K-1, and you must pay taxes on this profit, regardless of whether it is retained in the business or taken as a distribution. So this begs the question, you might be wondering, how much should you take as a salary versus distributions to stay compliant, but also maximize your savings? A common approach is the 50-50 or 60-40 split, but this can really vary depending on your industry and your role. Let's look at some real-world examples. Let's suppose you're a physician generating $300,000 in profit before salary. Given the high earning potential in the medical field, the IRS is going to expect a higher reasonable salary. Often it's going to be more than 50% of the profit. In contrast, a digital marketing consultant who's making the same profit could potentially look at a 50-50 split between distribution and salary because it might be more appropriate for your business. So it's really going to depend on your industry. The key is to ensure that your salary is justified on industry standards and your level of experience. This is where consulting with a knowledgeable accountant or a company like RCReports comes super handy. And that was actually why RCReports created compensation reports that would hold under IRS scrutiny and litigation. RCReports is a company that provides cloud-based software to determine reasonable compensation for closely held business owners. Their primary purpose is to help accountants, tax advisors, and business owners generate accurate and defendable compensation reports that would withstand IRS scrutiny. And as you'll see in a second, their platform is very easy to use, super seamless, and it's going to help you generate that compensation report. So go ahead and click on that link down below in the description that we have for you, and we're going to join up here together to look at their platform. Once you've clicked on their link down below, you should see a page that looks very similar to this. And with our exclusive link down below in the description, you're going to get $50 off your reasonable compensation report for a total of only $449. Now, that might seem like a lot of money, guys, but trust me, this is going to save you so much money in taxes if you have a defendable, reasonable salary that will withstand IRS scrutiny. So once you know that this is ready for you, go ahead and click buy now. You can go ahead and fill out this information here for your account and your name and email, phone number, and how you heard about them. You can go ahead and just put other and then put in StartupWise here. And then obviously with that code StartupWise, we're getting a $50 discount. Once you go ahead and click continue here, you can just go ahead and enter your billing information and you can agree to the reports. And once you've done that, you can submit your payment and create your account. Now, once you're in your account, you're going to be able to walk through this demo here. This tool was just recently created and it's super easy to use and very intuitive. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. There's 5 steps here. They're very simple and basic. So let's go ahead and check it out. The first step is my time and location. So they need to know exactly how many hours you work each week. Let's say we're a business owner. We're obviously working a lot. We're going to set that here at 40 plus. So we can't go any further than 40, but let's just say 40. Then we'll go ahead and choose our state and county here. That's going to help them generate good wage data around our county. Once we're finished with that, you'll see that the first section is complete. Very simple. And we can go ahead and go to the next section here. All right, here's where it gets a little bit more complicated, but it's still pretty intuitive. You're going to pick the tasks that you routinely perform. There are 8 standard categories here. Each of them have tasks that are associated with running a business. So you're going to want to add all of the tasks that you regularly perform for your business. Let's just go ahead and look at some of these tasks. For the maintenance section, it has janitor or custodial. So you can add this if you're sweeping the floors of your business. Maintenance or repair work, grounds, and lawn caretaker. Obviously, this is going to be if you're in the very early stages and you're doing everything for your business. Be sure to add these services in. Let's go ahead and look at some of the administrative ones. Here we have office clerk, secretary or administrative assistant, receptionist, correspondence clerk, customer service representative, and file clerk. Under marketing, we have market research analyst, sales rep, retail salesperson, cashier, or order clerk. Under finance, we have bookkeeper, payroll, billing, collections, budget analyst, accountant. Under human resources, we have the human resources clerk, employee training and development, human resource generalist. Under information technology, we have computer user support specialist, network technician, database administrator. Under inventory, we have shipping and receiving, purchasing clerk, purchasing agent, wholesale and retail buyer. And then under management, we have chief executive, general and operations manager, business office manager, sales manager, advertising and promotions manager, and then a couple supervisors. For the sake of this video, let's go ahead and add the task of somebody who's in the very early stages of your startup. Let's go ahead and go to maintenance, and I'll say that we regularly perform the janitorial or custodial tasks. Under administrative, let's say that we are also the office clerk and the administrative assistant. Under marketing, we can say that we're the marketing analyst. Under finance, let's say we do payroll. Now, this is obviously going to be specific for your business. I'm just giving you an example here. We can also say that we're the human resources generalist. And let's say we don't do anything in IT. We have a guy that does that. In inventory, we have a person that receives our products. And then let's say we also just do the chief executive job. Now, if you notice here, there's a caution because it wants you to read this job description very carefully. This is going to result in high compensation calculation, obviously, because you're the CEO of your company. You only want to select this if this matches your specific duty. So we can just go ahead and proceed with that for now. Next, we'll go to the business tasks. Let's search the business tasks by name here. For the sake of this video, we'll say that Startup Wise is a consulting company that offers services consulting for business owners. So let's say consulting here. We'll say business consultant. And let's think of some other tasks that we do. We can go ahead and look at video. We can also say that we're a video producer. We make videos on the internet that help you with your business. So you'll definitely have to play around here and search the tasks for your specific business. Let's just go ahead and leave these two on for now. Now we can go to the next section here, which is tasking and proficiency. Now it's going to ask us to give a specific time allocation and proficiency to each of the tasks that we assigned. The first one is the janitor or custodian. Of our 40-hour work week, we need to assign a percentage of the work week that we use for it, as well as our skill set. For janitor or custodial, let's say that we do 1.2 hours or 3%, and that's per week. And we'll say that we're just an average worker in the janitorial space. Now for office clerk, let's say we do a little bit more. Let's say we do 7% for that, and then we're a little bit above average on that. Let's go ahead and keep scrolling down to some of the other things that we picked here. So secretary or administrative assistant, let's say that's 4%, and we're below average on this one. Next is market research analyst. That's a lot of what we do. So let's say it's a little bit higher. We'll say 15%, and we're above average on that one. Payroll clerk, this is also very low since we do it just once a week. We'll say 3%, and we're average. So obviously keep going all the way down the line here. We have human resources that we said we do. We'll only allocate a little bit of time to that as well. Now it comes to chief executive. So now this is a little bit more of our time. For the sake of this video, we'll just say 25% and that we're average. Next are the services that we're providing. So I guess the question of chief executive versus the services are how much time you're spending on the chief executive role versus providing the services to your clients. So obviously the business consultant is going to be a lot higher for us. We'll say that we do 30% of our week consulting for our clients and that we're above average on that. And lastly, we'll say that we do 8% of our time video producing and that we're average at it. And after that, you'll see that you have 100% here in this circle. Once you see that, you should be all good to go and you can click next and review. Now it's going to be generating our report. This is a draft and it will remain a draft status for the next 30 days. But once you're ready to finalize, you can say finalize here and you can also view your report. So let's go ahead and click view report. Once we review our report here, you'll see that it has our estimated reasonable compensation at $143,000. Now we're in the business consulting sector. We're making a decent profit at our business. And a lot of our time was spent on that executive role. Obviously, if you didn't have this, it would be a lot lower. But what's cool is you can go through this and look at some of the different allocations here down below. It'll give you a line by line of what it assigned an annual wage for that specific task that you were doing. And this is all customized based on your county and your state, which is really cool. So if we scroll down a little bit, you'll see that the janitor position, they only assigned $1,100 annual wage to that. The office clerk was almost $4,000 based on the hours we gave them. If we scroll down, that market research analyst was a little higher at $16,000. That chief executive hourly wage was $100 $123. And based on the hours we did in the year, it's $64,000, which is a lot of money. And then if we scroll down here, we also have the business consultant and a video producer. So as you can see, this is a super helpful report to understanding what you can allocate for each specific task that you do in your business. And as you can see, if you scroll back up to the top here, in our county in California, this is what it would allocate as an annual salary to somebody doing all of these jobs. So guys, as you can see, this is a really powerful tool in understanding your reasonable compensation for your S Corp. All right, guys, now that we've showed you the platform, let's just highlight a couple key things before we finish off the video here. The first one is that RCReports is immediate. As you can see, you can get your report here today after you create your account and log in and use their intuitive platform. And like we said earlier, this is the same methodology that the IRS uses. This will really help you withstand IRS scrutiny and litigation if that were ever to come, but hopefully you do not have to ever go through that. Another thing about RCReports is they have the largest wage database in the US, which is awesome. As you can see, all those different tasks that we performed were assigned a specific hourly wage and annual wage. And that's for your specific area, which is really cool. Another feature that RCReports offers is RCDefence. This is one-on-one support during an audit or litigation if this report was ever challenged, which is really great. They offer this service for $199, which is a steal. And lastly, you can get an optional 30-minute consultation with a reasonable compensation expert for only $99. So if you want to talk to somebody in person, this is a really great feature too. All right, guys, we really hope that you got value out of this video and it helps you in creating a reasonable salary for your S Corp. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this in the future, please leave us a like, subscribe, comment down below, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this. We have a bunch of other videos on the channel also that we'll leave linked down below in the description about S Corps and how to start them. We'll also leave that link to RCReports down below in the description. With our special code StartupWise, you get a $50 discount, so be sure to use our special link. And if you do choose to use our link, guys, we do get a small referral fee at no additional cost to you. This really helps us keep creating free videos and content like this for you, so thank you so much in advance for helping us out there. And lastly, guys, this channel is dedicated to helping business owners and entrepreneurs like yourself with free videos and tutorials like this one. So guys, thank you so much for watching. We wish you the best on your entrepreneurship journey, and we will see you back again in the next video.